The kid is 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 the kid. The kid is the kid is the kid. Is the kid is the kid is the kid. Is the kid. It's the kid. Guys, mates, Double H half trying to stay alive. This is again the weekly Q&A. Remember, again, this happens every Friday or Saturday. You send in your questions to the main man here. You go to the website halffootballhot.com. You scroll down to the contact us form. You fill out the form. You send in your questions, football or non-football related, and I will answer it a week from today. It happens every week at the end of the week, Friday or Saturday. And remember, if you join up and you become a patron, you have the ability to request videos, and you're now all these questions that you ask, you can get extended, much more detailed responses and videos based off the questions you ask if you become a patron. So those are the few little perks of being the patronage. But without further ado, let us get into these questions. The first question that we have, Ricky Rincones. Double H, much love to you, bro. Love watching you every day and your content. Keep up the good work. My question is, my first football idol was Roberto Baggio. After the penalty kicking miss, his career wasn't quite the same, but I think his skill set was beyond the time he played, and I think his skill level would have been better suited for today's game. What do you think? And do you think he's the greatest Italian player ever? That's a great question. I don't think he suffered from that penalty miss. I mean, initially he may have, but I think he still won like a Scudetto or something after that. Yeah, I think he won he was either won the Scudetto the season after, or he was voted the best player the season after. So it didn't really affect him that much. Again, he came back in the '98 World Cup for Italy. But it is interesting what you said about Baggio. And I think you're right in the sense of, I think that if Baggio was probably a number 10 before most number 10s. And he was a very technical player, because he wasn't really an out-and-out striker. But he was a striker. He was a cold-blooded finisher. Look at what he did in the '94 World Cup. He was the very meaning of clutch, obviously, until that penalty. So I do feel like if in today's, I think in a sense He also something in the sense of he may have been slightly ahead of his time because of just how he played, and because today is very technical and we have so many number 10s now, hence we didn't have number 10s back in the days. We had really two strikers. He would have fit in far better in today's world, especially for a Barcelona or a PSG or so forth that have so many number 10s. I think he would do really, really great based on his understanding and his footballing intelligence. And greatest Italian player ever, he's one of the best. 100%. I would say he's top 3, top 4, because you've got to look at Del Piero, you've got to look at Maldini, and you've got to look at Baresi. I mean, so for me, you've got to look at Buffon, Baresi, Maldini, Del Piero. Then you obviously got to roll in. You've got to look. You think about Cannavaro as well. Then you've got to roll in Baggio. So I think Baggio is definitely he's easily one of the best, top 5. Thanks for the question, Zachary. Hi HH, what's the most one-sided match where a team dominated but didn't win? Mine would be Celtic 2-1 Barcelona, where Barca had 89% possession. See, possession is an overrated stat. If you don't do anything with the possession, then there's no point. The most one-sided game I've seen where the team didn't end up winning has to be Holland against Italy. Holland against Italy, Euro 2000 semi-final. Holland missed 2 penalties in that game. They missed 2 penalties in that game, and I think they hit about 2 or 3 times. Literally, they were all over Italy. And I think Italy may have had a man sent off or something, but that game was ridiculously one-sided, and in the end, they lost on penalties. Big Rich. Hey, HH, do you think Bundesliga having just 18 teams makes the league more exciting than if it had 20? Also, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on League Cups? Would you get rid of them? 18 teams, depends about the 18 teams. I think it does make things slightly more competitive, but I think especially on the lower end, because there are less teams, it means that it is more likely for you to get relegated. Although when there are more teams, it's more likely to get relegated. I think it is much more competitive in the lower end of the table. League Cups, yeah, I'd scrap them. Pointless, useless. It just makes things too much. Too much to have to look through. So yeah, get rid of them. They're crap. Edwin Watson. What's up, HH? I always watch your amazing videos on YouTube. They're so amazing, especially Champions League matches. However, my question is, Can Yerimina play Champions League for Barcelona? I think he can. I think he can. I mean, again, I've got to double check, but I don't think he's played for a previous team before, so I do think like he will be able to play Champions League football for Barcelona. Alessio, hello HH. I'm curious as to your thoughts on each of these three strikers, since you never really discussed them before. Luca Toni, Alberto Gilardino, and Vincenzo Iaquinta. I thought Luca Toni was a really nice strike, really good striker. I think he just needed to find the right team because he was a target man in the same ilk of Mario Gomez. Gilardino had a very good 2006 World Cup, but I thought he was a bit overrated. I didn't really like his football. Yeah, Iaquinta, again, a bit of a target man. His height was obviously that 2006 World Cup. I just think he was a decent striker, but just not really that great. Again, needed to be in the right kind of team. All right, let's roll through. Jacques, hi HH, hope you are doing well. Yeah, I hope so too. I wanted to ask your opinions on the Arsenal and Aubameyang rumours. In my opinion, Real Madrid are in need of a player like him to replace Karim Benzema, and it sounds like he would only cost around 60 mil. It's not like he would choose Arsenal over them. So my question is, do you think he would be a good fit for Real, and if so, why are they not going for him? I don't think he'll be a good fit for Real Madrid because I think he fits Arsenal's play a lot more because they play faster and with a lot more speed. Real Madrid need a guy like an Icardi or a Cannibal Suarez, but especially like an Icardi because Icardi is a potent finisher and he's very good at really finding good positions and latching off to the kind of opportunities and chances that he would be given with the kinds of quality players that Real Madrid have. So Real should be going for someone like an Icardi rather than an Aubameyang, who I do not think would fit into the play style of Real. And Mr. Nice Guy, hey H, thanks to you, I've noticed something. Cristina is really one of the most useless players of Madrid. The man run for 90 minutes doing absolutely nothing, but at the end of the match, his goals always overshadow his performance. And as for Messi, even when Barcelona loses, he still has a good performance. Is Cristina the most overrated player ever? No, he is. He's one of the most overrated player of all time is David Beckham, followed by Cristina. So yeah, but yeah, thanks. It's a good thing that you finally see it in the light. PQU Disney, hello HH. A few months ago, I asked you about Wilfred Ndidi being underrated. Looking at his form this season, he has been Leicester's best player alongside Mahrez and Maguire. Do you think he should leave Leicester for a bigger club such as Arsenal or Liverpool, who need a defensive midfielder? And if so, where do you think he should go, and how much do you think he's worth? He should leave Leicester for 100%, but I'm happy that he's still at Leicester because by him remaining at Leicester, it has been able to show people just how good he really is. The team he would, that's Liverpool. You know what? I'm not actually tweet this. Thank you for the question. Liverpool should get in because if Liverpool got an Ndidi, a guy who sits, is a great DM, is a very good calm on his hand player that can just calm things down and has a bit of maturity to him, that would be a perfect complement to the very offensive and attacking nature of Liverpool. So for 100%, Liverpool would definitely most likely need him, and I think he should go for 80 mil. 80 mil. Dylan Holmes, hi HH. What are your thoughts on the negative style of football that is becoming more and more common today? Are you a fan of the defensive tactics of Man United, or do you prefer teams that go for games such as Liverpool or to a high extent City? Also, what do you think should be done to force managers to be more attacking and provide more entertaining games? Personally, I think the best solution is making all games that finish 0-0 to not give any points to either team rather than have teams playing for a draw for 90 minutes. No. This is what football is about. Football is a tactical game. And I don't want football to turn into like American sports where there must be a winner. And there is a beauty in defending. There was a beauty in that 2010 team of Inter Milan that were very defensive. There is a beauty in sitting back and making sure that your team doesn't score. There's a beauty in 1-0 wins because football comes in a myriad and a different set of ways. The people that want to attack, the people that want to defend, the people that want to hold the ball up, the people that want to counter, the people that want to use the wing, the people that want to use the middle with the number 10, the people that want to sit back, defend, and then counter and hit you in the break. That's the beauty of football. It may be negative, you may not like it. At the end of the day, it's about winning. You can use whatever tactics you want. If at the end of the day you win, that is all that matters. Who's this? So this is Osman Jalani. Hello, sir. Love your channel and your class opinions and analysis. As a Barca fan, I must ask you, Samuel Eto'o or the Cannibal? Now, I'm going to go for their peak. So the Cannibal at his peak or Eto at his peak, I'm going to choose Eto. Because remember, it's at his peak. Because remember, Eto declined. Eto at his peak was probably the best striker I've seen in the 18-yard box. Literally, you give him the ball in the 18-yard box with an inch of space, it's a goal. Because the Cannibal is amazing, and I think the Cannibal has more to his game overall than Eto. But if we're just saying who would I pick, obviously as a striker, I would say Eto. Who is the better all-round player? It's the Cannibal. But as a striker, I'm going to go for your boy Eto. All right. Hamza Dajani. Do you agree that Pablo Zabaleta is 20 times better than Victor Moses and can put him in his back pocket? Moses always fails against big teams these days. No, that's a lie. No. But although I'll say Zabaleta is better in the right back position than Moses, because Moses is an effing right back. He's a flipping winger. AJ. Hey, HH, if Aubameyang goes to Arsenal, would you start both he and Lacazette up top together? Possibly. Or what I'll do is you can have Aubameyang in there, maybe play Lacazette out wide on the right, or you have Lacazette in the middle and play Aubameyang out wide on the right. But definitely I would play them both together and see how they combine. Or what may happen is either choose an Aubameyang or a Lacazette and interplay between both of them. Max Okundov, what's up, HH? My question for this week is, which is the bigger club, AC Milan or Manchester United? I personally believe it's AC Milan because they have 18 to United's 20. But 7 Champions Leagues to United's 2. Could you rank your top 5 clubs as it pertains to history? And also, what's your opinion on Declan Rice? Overrated, underrated? Thank you, brother. You're the best. Thank you. It depends on what you're saying. If you're saying based on the brand, United are possibly the biggest club in the world because United are the most supported and the most recognized club globally in the world. If it's based purely on football, it's AC Milan, based on AC Milan's league titles and their European pedigree as well, which trumps Manchester United. Top 5 clubs as it pertains to history, you've got to think about AC Milan. You've got to look at Real Madrid. You've got to look at Barcelona. You've still got to throw United in there based on their domestic dominance, and Bayern Munich. Those are the 5 that I would put out there. Rises is a pile of crap. One of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. As a hardcore Batman fan, the film Sickening is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life, and one of the most embarrassing, disgraceful films I've ever seen in my life. So it's a piece of ish. Hamza Al-Riza, hi HH, do you think Nigeria has any chance of not getting circumcised by Messi and his Argentine boys? I'm going to put a hex on Messi. Manifred Gunza. Hey HH, what are your thoughts on Mourinho's treatment of Martial? Before Mourinho came to Manchester United, Martial was playing amazingly under Louis van Gaal and was a top scorer. But ever since Mourinho joined, he has stifled and halted Martial's development by playing him out wide and asking him to do excessive defensive work. Do you think under another manager such as Guardiola, Wenger or Pochettino, he would have developed further by now? For example, Martial joined United in the same summer that Sterling joined City, and we have clearly seen one player continue his development under Pep's tutelage, while the other has stagnated under Mourinho. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. But he has. I mean, Martial doesn't work well with Mourinho. Mourinho doesn't appreciate Martial. But even despite that, look at how well Martial is doing. So 1000%, if Martial played under Guardiola, he would be incredible and he'd definitely be one of the best players in the world. I just think it's a shame that Mourinho doesn't really recognize his talent and hasn't really properly cultivated it and tried to build the team around him. So it's a shame, but still Martial, he's still playing well because the guy's such a baller that despite him not really being given coaching and being hustled by Mourinho, Martial is still a G. Ben Joel, what's up HH my bro? I have some questions for you. 1, who or what do you think is the biggest problem at Chelsea Football Club right now? It's the whole system. The system from Abramovich to the Maria, the woman who's now head of football development. It's the structure of the team and the culture. Are you a fan of Harry Maguire from Leicester City, Shaqiri from Stoke, and John Joe Shelby from Newcastle? Only Shaqiri from Stoke, based on his amazing goal for the Euros, and he was amazing for Bayern as well. So I'm only going to say Shaqiri. Do you think Chelsea would be much closer or ahead of City if Conte hadn't had any problems with Costa and more recently David Luiz? If Chelsea kept Costa, Chelsea would be closer to City. City would still be ahead, but Chelsea would be much closer to City in the league for sure. Where in London do you live, and did you ever have the opportunity to go to a game at Upton Park before it was demolished? P.S. My shooting has improved a lot from the advice you gave me previously. Thank you a lot. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh yeah, sorry, you're shooting. Okay, yeah, because I gave you some advice on the shooting. So no problem. I can't reveal where I live in London because it's very hush-hush. And no, unfortunately, I never went to Upton Park before it got demolished. That's a shame. Kalem, here HH, what do you think would have happened if Diego Costa had chosen to stay loyal to Brazil instead of choosing to play for Spain? Do you think they would have performed better in the last World Cup and done better against Germany? And do you think Spain would have been a better team without him as well in that World Cup and the subsequent Euros? Finally, do you think he would be Brazil's number one striker today out of Gabriel Jesus and Firmino? And would he be a good fit for this current Brazil team? That's a tricky one. That's a very good question. I think that's a good question. Because I think this Brazil, as good as Costa is, I think he would have definitely done better for Brazil, and Brazil would have done better at the 2014 World Cup. But I think Costa doesn't fit into this team. I think Firmino and Jesus fit into this team better because of the movement. I think this is a very fluid Brazil team. It's a very Hoga Benito Brazil team, and I do not think that Costa's very rigid target man style would work with this team. It would have worked well with Dunga's psychology, but not with this team as how it's built. Even if Costa wasn't with Spain, they would have still not have done well at the Euros or the World Cup. I just think Spain's time just wasn't their time. Udoyanga Itata, my lord, that's a long question. Okay, let me just bear with me 1 second. Let me just upload this. Manchester United. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just doing an on upload right now. Upload the hots. Okay. Publish. Okay. HH the Great. Thank you, my brother. Double fist in the air. People talk about being reckless with the word legend. You are a legend, and this is far from being verbally reckless. Thank you. You do good work. Football is the invention language that the world speaks. So contribution to football is much appreciated. I have a few questions for you. 1. In some quarters, Maradona is the best player ever and Pelé is the second best, and vice versa in other quarters. Who do you think is the legitimate, probably unanimous, third best player of all time? I'd go with Ronaldo. Because I just still believe that, despite his injury, based on his impact, what he was able to do, his footballing ability, and how he revolutionized and changed the game, and the kind of excitement he brought to football at the time was unlike any other player I've ever seen. So if we debate about Maradona and Pelé as 1 and 2, definitely we put Ronaldo at a number 3. Football formation has evolved over the years. 4-2-4, 4-4-2, 3-5-2, Catenaccio, mastered by Italians and very pronounced in Euro 2000, 4-3-3, but led by Mourinho, 4-3-2-1. And it seems the in thing now is a 3-pronged attack. What could be the next formation option with the way football is going? I think we're going to see the evolving of the false 9. So I think what we're going to see is that where is barely going to be any strikers. So even if it says 4-3-3, those 3 guys are all false 9s. So what you're going to be seeing as an interplay with the striker. So when you see a formation, there really isn't going to be a defined striker. So I think the lone striker is going to get put out, and I think you're going to have midfielders having to master midfield duties and striking duties. So we're going to definitely see the false 9 take a much more defined, pronounced evolution into the game of football. 3. Based on players at their prime, set up an 11 that could have a go at my team. It's going to be tough because I've got to think about this, but you've said Buffon, Cafu, Nesta, Baresi, Maldini, Biscuits, Pirlo, Zidane, Cruyff, Maradona, Ronaldo. 4-3-4. No, it can't be 4-3-4. 4-4-3-3 then. I think the one player that had the greatest influence on the field for Nigeria was Kanu. As much as I love Okocha, I appreciate him for the entertainment, but that's all ultra technical brilliance and intelligence that's benefited the team was always shown through Kanu. What do you reckon? You make a great point. I feel that Okocha is one of the most talented, ability-wise footballers I've ever seen in my life. But as far as effectiveness on a football field and just unique, because I always say that Riquelme is one of the most unique players I've ever seen in my life. If I was to pick the 3 most unique players I've ever seen in football, Riquelme, Pirlo, Kanu. Because Kanu, for his size and how tall he was, the way he dribbled, the way he moved the ball, the way he would completely bamboozle defenders was unlike any player I've ever seen before. Because he played, just like Riquelme and Pirlo, he played in his own world, at his own pace, and at his own speed. So I do believe that as far as how he would affect the game and how he would make players and influence the game, it was perhaps a lot greater than Okocha, who, based on just raw technical ability, was a far superior player. But Kanu was superior in his effectiveness in the game. Guys, it's been swell. Thank you so much for sending me these questions. I shall see you again next week. Remember to get a question in, head to the website halfoffootballhot.com. Scroll down to contact us and I shall answer your question. Answer me football related or non-football related. See you next week. Stay true, stay black. Peace.